Some big transfer news regarding Liverpool in January going in for a centre-back with Upamecano and Guéhi still heavily linked. Konate has left the France camp and will return to Liverpool due to injury, and some big contract news coming out regarding Bukayo Saka. And is it scary times ahead? Looking at that Liverpool back line, we've already Leone out injured. Is Konate... No one really knows the severity of this injury. Is it a big injury? You know, for Konate's case, I rate the defender highly. I think he has been criticised massively this season. And I think he has to get back to playing good football. But if he's picked up an injury, I'm looking at that back line of Liverpool with only two senior fit centre-backs in Van Dijk and Joe Gomez. We've got a lot to get into this video. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. The road to 100,000 subscribers is well and truly on. I think we are just under 300 away now from hitting 80,000. So if you haven't already, please go down and hit that subscribe button. We'll get into Saka's contract in a little while, and we'll get into more Premier League news. But Touchline put this out earlier today that Konate will be leaving the French international team camp and return to Liverpool. Can I just say, on behalf of my channel and maybe some of my audience, can we scrap some of these international breaks? The amount of... I've gone on, I think, something like 5 injury updates I've seen in the last hour. One was on Konate, one was on Enzo Fernandez, one was on Lamine Yamal and Rafinha. It looks like there's injuries dropping left, right, and centre. Do we need this many games throughout a season? You know, and when you look at Liverpool, if this is a serious injury, I mean, I don't know how bad it is. This is literally the first I've seen on it. So I thought I'd drop a video. This came out earlier today at, well, just before lunchtime. You know, Konate will be leaving the French international team camp and return to Liverpool due to injury. Now, whether that's serious or not, we'll have to wait and see. But when you look at Liverpool's injuries they've got at the moment, these 3 players missed the Chelsea match. Will Konate be playing against Man United? I don't know. You know, I'd be amazed if Giovanni Leone is back by late December. Obviously, Alisson's out till mid-November as well. And Stefan Bajcetic, I mean, I don't know when he will be back. I don't even think I've seen him play this season. But the amount of injuries we're seeing left, right, and centre, it's absolutely insane. You know, Touchline have literally just put out in the last hour as well that Enzo Fernandez will be leaving the camp with Argentina to return to Chelsea. Another injury. Now, is this just mind games or are these actually injuries? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Florian Plettenberg has been very active regarding Liverpool transfer news, especially when talk about their centre-backs. Now, Florian Plettenberg has literally tweeted this out in the last half hour. Upamecano and his agent are not planning to make any concessions to FC Bayern at this stage. They have presented their figures to Bayern, and it is now up to the club to decide whether they are to improve again or not. However, Max Ebel, who is one of the hierarchy of Munich, is doing everything he can to reach an agreement with Bayern, absolutely determined to extend the contract, but top clubs are lurking, and Liverpool is one of them. Now, we know they are also interested in Guéhi as well. I like Upamecano. I don't think he's, in my opinion, you know, defending in the Bundesliga and defending in the Premier League are 2 different things. He has obviously performed on some of the biggest, you know, games of football in his life. I personally prefer Guéhi. Florian Plettenberg put this out yesterday, saying that at Liverpool, there are currently very relaxed outlook regarding the next 2 transfer windows. Adjustments will be made, but not on the same scale as the past summer. For the centre-back options, Mark Guéhi and Dayot Upamecano are among the candidates. In addition, the club are still searching for a top winger. Now, like, if Liverpool are looking for a top winger as well, I mean, what are they planning on spending in January? I've got no idea. They are in a very, very good position still with regards to FFP. But for me, are they already planning to sign Upamecano as a long-term replacement for Konate? There's been lots of pictures of him on Twitter, you know, Duolingo account saying that he's one of the premium customers at learning Spanish every single month. A lot of Liverpool fans think that he will be leaving Liverpool, just like Trent Alexander-Arnold did, to join Real Madrid. Now, in terms of, we'll come back to Liverpool shortly, there's a lot of news regarding Bukayo Saka new contract. Now, again, some of the criticism that he faced after the news with regards to scoring that fantastic goal the other night for England against Wales. Again, I don't really understand why he's being criticised. He's one of the best players in the world, and it's not even a debate now. He's absolutely ridiculous player. Daily AFC have put a new contract for Bukayo Saka is Andrea Berta's most pressing priority. It is understood that there is absolute confidence at the club that he will sign new terms. It's a matter of when and not if. Now, looking at this from what Arsenal are doing with their squad, the fact that they've pinned down Gabriel, Saliba, Wanyeri, Lewis Skelly, and now Bukayo Saka on the verge of pinning all of those down to new contracts. The job that Andrea Berta has done since becoming the Arsenal director of football is unbelievable. You know, that is crazy. The guy has been there not even 6 months. You know, he joined in July? He signed 5 or 6 very, very good players at Arsenal. He's pinned down some of their better players already in the existing squad to new long-term deals. He's trying to get rid of some of the dead wood. I think the job that Andrea Berta has done is absolutely ridiculous. And when you look at these players right now, if you go on to transfer market, for instance, and we look at the signings they've already made, you know, throughout the summer and then potentially in January, Zubimendi, Eberechi Eze, Gyökeres, Noni Madueke, Mosquera, Norgard, and Kepa Arrizabalaga. None of those are flops, in my opinion. None of those have performed badly, in my opinion. And on top of Gabriel, Saliba, Ethan Wanyeri, Bukayo Saka eventually, and Lewis Skelly all signing new deals, it is scary times for the rest of the league right now. You know, Liverpool at the moment, for me, are the only ones. I know Man City will always be up there at the moment because you have a robot up front, you know, who is absolutely, you know, flying right now. But it should be scary times for the rest of the Premier League. I'm not looking forward to playing them. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Arsenal are determined to keep club captain Martin Odegaard by tying him down to a new deal. He'll become the 5th player to enter contract negotiations. Plus, Timber is on the verge of getting a big pay rise. David Raya has just been given a new contract. Like, they're doing, from a club's perspective, to keep all their players happy. And the fact that they're rewarding their players on a form, giving them new bumper contracts because they're improved form. That can also go the other way, though. If they don't perform, you know, they're going to be on these higher wages, which eventually, if they do go to a down patch, would make it more difficult for Arsenal to sell that player down the line. But, you know, there is a lot right now in terms of what Arsenal are doing. In my opinion, they are doing a lot of the right things. You know, you're talking about signing on your better players long term, and Bukayo Saka. You know, Martin Zubimendi has also been very, very vocal about why he decided to join Arsenal. He said, when Mikel Arteta called me, well, if you've ever spoken to him, you'll know that he can be very convincing, and that is what he told The Guardian. And then he goes on to then say after that essentially, and there's Romano actually confirming it as well, Konate has left the France squad. I don't think it will be a serious injury because we would have heard a lot more about it. Is that a game of chess by Arne Slot? Should Liverpool fans be concerned? I put a video out a couple of days ago talking about AFCON and talking about Mohamed Salah, that he will be missing for, you know, potentially 2 or 3 weeks in a very, very tough period for Liverpool, where they do play Arsenal at the Emirates in a game which could extend the gap for Arsenal, could bridge the gap for Liverpool, depending on how you want to look at it. You know, I think that period between the end of December and the end of Jan, when you look at the transfer window as well, is going to be massive for both teams. Zubimendi on why he wanted to join Arsenal. I'd watched Arsenal and I liked everything I saw in terms of passion, youth, and the feeling you got watching them. They're perfect for me, and that was due again what he said to the Guardian. Now, in terms of, I think Anfield sector put out that they don't feel that according to James Pearce, who's a Liverpool reporter for The Athletic, he has come out and said that Liverpool are confident that Konate only sustained a minor issue. He will return to Merseyside for assessment and treatment with Liverpool, hoping he will be in contention for Man United's visit. So he may not be playing. I mean, Gomez and Van Dijk is more than good enough to beat Manchester United. I would look at it from more if it's a 3-4 game injury. After that, they will be playing Frankfurt in the Champions League, Brentford away. And if it's more of a long-term game, long-term injury that, has significant, triggers to it, this run of games for Liverpool, they need all their available players fit. I know they're not going to have Alisson Becker for any of these games because he's not back until mid-November. We'll have to wait and see how Georgi Mamardashvili gets on in this run of games. That isn't easy, I'll be honest. Palace, Brentford away, who should have got a point of City if it wasn't for an unbelievable save by Donnarumma. Real Madrid, City away, Frankfurt. If you're telling me that potentially some of these games is going to be the same centre-back pairing in Gomez and Van Dijk, and this isn't the Joe Gomez from 2020, in which was the centre-back pairing that won Liverpool the Premier League. It's different. There is actually some Arsenal transfer news. We may talk about that in another video, regarding Yildiz again being linked from Juventus. You've also got, talking about a player called Dario Osorio, who's got a lot of similarities and been heavily linked to Angel Di Maria. We may get onto that in another video, but make sure you drop a like, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. I'm out.